such senior people sitting in front of me, it's giving me a feeling that I'm giving an interview or something.
No. So to avoid this seniority effect, हमको बाल बाल काला करना चाहिए. तो फिर then we will not look senior. थोड़ा personal branding tips.
It's
Chalo.
giving
Okay, thank you very well. Hello, namaste, namaskar, good afternoon, good morning, or maybe even good evening in whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepak R. Khemani, and I am one of the co-founders of Bloom. Along with my two other co-founders, Abhijit and Payal, who is also the CEO of Bloom, it gives me immense pleasure to invite you to this 235th non-stop Sunday Bloom Talk Show. Every Sunday, be it online or offline, come rain or shine, at this time we are on air. We speak to a person, a celebrity, a coach, a trainer, a speaker, an athlete, a doctor, anyone who with their knowledge and expertise can help make a small difference in the people's lives, whether they are part of this audience now or they are watching this program a little bit later. This program is being streamed live on Facebook. It will also come up on YouTube. It gives me great pleasure to officially welcome Riya Tiwari to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It is indeed my pleasure to have this opportunity and speak with people such as you all. And yeah, thank you for having me.
I'll just read out two lines of who you are and what do you do, and then I will hand it over to Abhijit to take the program ahead. So Riya is a mom. That's the first word she used in her intro. She's a mom, she's a content creator, and a personal branding strategist, helping you grow on LinkedIn with insights on branding, freelancing, content creation, productivity, and building a powerful online presence. In today's day and age, who doesn't want that? So in the next 1 hour, we'll be learning from Riya, polishing, our pics, our banners, our headlines, how to post, what to post, when to post, what not to do. Over to you, Abhijit.
Fine. Thanks for Riya for accepting our invitation and gracing our platform. So while we've had this conversations earlier, maybe a couple of times, I think each person brings his own perspective, and maybe post AI coming in a big way, I think this is the first time we are having this conversation. So I would like to know what has changed in the work which you are doing post AI, and the other question is what has even changed for you? I think post motherhood, because you use this word mom first. So I would like to ask the second question first, and the first
Got
question
it.
you can answer next.
Yes. So, first of all, I'll kind of share why I call myself mom before anything else, because that's how and that is why my journey started on LinkedIn, right? So, my daughter was 1.5 years old and she started mimicking me. So she does things what I do. If I am holding a book in my hand, she'll come up with a book and she'll just mimic, she'll do things I'm doing. So there was a point where it just hit me that of course I am managing my house, my kid, and everything for her, that I'm also doing the self-care. I'm also caring for, myself and my career and something productive in life. So that was my first thought when I started on LinkedIn. I used to write blogs. So I started with sharing those blogs on LinkedIn. And while being on the platform for almost 2 3 months, I understood the kind of potential this platform has. The world, 67 million plus companies are registered here. So if you are in business, if you are a service provider, your presence on LinkedIn and the right presence on LinkedIn can absolutely amplify the kind of revenue or ROI you're looking for in your business, right? So that was the story behind how I started. Now coming to the next question, about how AI has changed and evolved the definition of personal branding. So usually you will come up with people speaking in favor, a lot of, you know, in going with the AI stuff. I have always been someone who has kept the balance. The kind of AI inclusion in content creation and everything, after 5-7 years down the lane, I think everything is going to be same. Every content generated because it's AI and everybody is using it. Of course, I automate certain tasks which helps me save time. But when it comes to writing, I don't think AI can, is even near to what we as humans can write and put down, because the emotions, even if you have learned all the best kind of prompt engineering, I don't think the right emotions can come into AI generated content. That is what I personally believe in. So I help people write their stories in storytelling format, which actually catches attention and is relatable to the real audience out there. So having said that, I also agree that we cannot thrive without including having AI in our processes. That's something we just cannot go ahead. But I think people should be more focused on the intention of keeping the authenticity alive, right? Because if everybody is using the same AI tools for generating content, for ideas, for writing, don't you think it's going to be same everywhere? Your story, your personality is going, your story, your life journey, your experiences, that's something people cannot Google, because that you own it, you have lived it. So this is what I believe in, while of course balancing the much dependent on it, but also not being flexible to it, not being rigid about it, because you have to have a right balance. So yeah.
So, Deepak Khemani always comes up with one dialogue. Currently, there are two kind of people: one who use AI, one who don't use AI. And maybe in the future, there'll be two kinds of people: one who use AI and one who use AI really well. Now, in this scenario, it's just a matter of time, I guess, when all of us will be using AI. And then, while I agree that emotions is something which can't be replaced, and your initial idea has to be from you, but is it something that AI will be needed to basically polish off your content? And secondly, using AI, still, if you do it, people will always doubt whether this is his own post or it's an AI generated post. So, how do you manage, or what is your suggestion in managing those perceptions? So, even if I make a great post out of my own uh, thought, I think people will still think it's AI. Simple. So, how
People
do you
are
manage those contradictions? Yeah.
with AI, even people are becoming smart. Only AI is not, being smarter. Even humans are becoming pro with AI and the kind of content AI generates. So everybody who's using ChatGPT knows the phrases that ChatGPT comes up with. Everybody who uses Claude or Perplexity, they know what kind of content these AI are generating. When we kind of add something, a phrase, something like that, I'm drinking tea with my uh, child or my partner. These are the things which kind of makes the story. If we are, if we are into reading books, we know how the human relatability and how the day-to-day task, when we are writing those points, it's standing out. And when you're using phrases like AI and the content is very much polished without any error, you know that this is so polished post, it has to be an AI post, because human makes error, and I think we should embrace those mistakes, right? The spelling mistakes or anything. I don't think that should be a big issue for because we all know we can stop doing, because to make mistake is to be human, right? So having said that, I think the personal stories helps you stand out.
I agree. So you
Somebody is
mean to
saying,
say,
am I audible? Somebody just
yeah,
texted
yes,
now.
yeah, somewhat, but I think it's fine. So at times there is some disturbance, but it's okay. So while AI is smart, I love this. We are getting smarter. So certain phrases and those rockets or the way you have those stars or those emojis, I think you delete. But now people are also, the readers are also smarter to know that. And while your personal story, I believe, just can't be imitated, but how many personal stories would you have? So finally, you'll have to jump to or take the resort of AI to spruce up your post. So how does it impact somebody like your profession? Yeah, are you
Content
there?
content ideas and to generate, detailed topics. And yes, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Well, okay. So, but when we suppose when we're writing industry specific topics, then you can go all in AI, because you're talking about the facts and the industry trends that are going around. That is something which is available on Google, and that is something going to be same all around. So at that point, at such when you're writing such content pieces, it's okay to go all in for AI and generate a well formatted, small pointers. And because LinkedIn, especially talking about LinkedIn, there's a format you should have in your posts to crack the algorithm, I would say, or to get the attention of your target audience. So when you're using these mofu content, and you're writing those contents which needs your kind of fact based data, there it's okay to go in for AI. But again, when you're sharing your expertise, when you're building your thought leadership, there comes the point when you need to show how expert you are in that particular topic. And then again, it comes your experiences. Sir mentioned that how many stories you're going to share, how many stories we can come up with. Every day has 1,000 stories. It's just that you don't realize that this is something which can help somebody else, right? When we are writing content, the only thing that we have to keep in mind is this content piece should give value, should teach someone out there something, right? That's the whole purpose of writing content, that it can provide value, it can tell people about a certain topic how it's done, right? So we have unlimited of stories around us. In fact, the great example I'll give you, whenever we onboard a client, we tell them that we need at least an hour or two with them every month to kind of have a narration call and understand their stories. But there was one client who could not manage to give us time for continuously for 4 months, right? But we came up with stories with that one first narration call. So we have managed their content for 4 months because somehow they were very busy, right? And we kind of tried convincing them and kind of just come on a call, because we need to talk to you. Because when we are managing your profile, when we are managing your personal brand, we need to know you as a person, we need to understand your personality when we're writing on your behalf. So a lot of things comes into play, and everything depends on what the person is willing to achieve from building their personal brand.
So when you say building a personal brand, would a brand be built if per se there was no competency in the person whose brand is being built?
i would like to I would like you to brief, you know ask this question in some other words.
Fine. So what I would say is that somebody is trying to build up a brand, but a brand per se for me would be initially be based on maybe some competency of maybe some knowledge or some wisdom which is trying to say, or even if it is a story, then it has to have some message. The point is, this is what are the learnings, and this is what the learnings could be useful to the world at large. So, while a great content marketer or a digital brander could leverage on that to a greater height by visibility, credibility, or the various other means, wouldn't basic some level of quality be needed in that individual whom you're trying to brand, or some level of achievement, or some level of seniority or maturity, or could you brand anybody?
Okay. So I'll start with an example.
Okay.
Cow dung is being sold on Amazon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
People are buying cow dung, right? In India and across the world, we have audience for almost everything. So if you are not knowledgeable in some skill, you are knowledgeable in your life experiences. You can talk about self-improvement. There are things you have experienced in your life, which are your life lessons, your life learnings. And this is something non-negotiable. If somebody has a life of around 20-25 years, I'll take that after, that age group, starting after 20 years. If somebody's looking for a job and they're trying to build a personal brand, you've had your college, you've had your school life, you've had your family life. So it's not possible that you don't have something to share to the world. So you always have. What you lack is the willingness and the creativity to frame it in the right way. That's what I would like to say on this.
So how do you actually pick this up? So
Okay, so
so maybe I may not know, I may have a story, and maybe obviously, as you say, I agree that each one has lived his life, which is unique. So he has some unique stories or experiences to share. But how have you developed the skill to actually extract that from that person in such a short time that you say a 1 hour, 2 hour call, and you actually, how do you step into his shoes and maybe speak in his voice?
I won't say I know everything from day one when I'm talking to a client. Even I am improving with time, even I am learning with him and refining my strategy and my content. Having said that, when we start, we have the right set of questions. We, as in me and my business partner, we work together. I would have loved, she would have joined this, but she's in Kumbh right now. So we have the right set of questions. So if we are asking you a certain question and you're coming up with an answer, we have your story. That's how we have built our process and systems to kind of get the real stories out from our clients, which will help the stories which will help us build their expertise, thought leadership, maybe generate leads, and XYZ what they're looking for, right, from this platform, because we are doing this right now on LinkedIn especially. So we have the right questions to ask and the right answers gives us the story. We have kind of developed, evolved in this space. We know how to get the stories out.
Oh, great. So, one more thing I'm just curious about is how do you see the global competition vis-a-vis India? Is India at the very top in this field, or there are other countries and other content marketers or digital experts who are also doing well?
That's very subjective because you cannot confine talent to any particular region. Having said that, I believe Indian marketers are better because we are flexible. We are born and raised with the environment, that jugaad, thing. We come up with problem solving. We have that inbuilt qualities. While creators around the globe, because I'm speaking from experience, I have worked with people, I've had great conversations with people around the globe. They are very structured. They have a flow and they stick to it. That's what I have experienced. They're not very flexible as we are, right? So like I mentioned that we couldn't get on a call with one of our clients and we could manage 4 months of content. I don't think everybody around the globe, I won't say that they're not competent or they're not good enough, but as compared to Indians, I think we are far ahead.
And how are Indians as clients vis-a-vis global clients?
That's vice versa. Because again, the inbuilt traits comes into play. Indians are great negotiators, right? They just want to start negotiation, and global clients, they talk about value and the results you can get them. That's when we start a conversation. Indian clients are usually looking up where does your package starts from, right? That's what they want to know, not how will you get us the ROI. While the global clients, there have been like very few who negotiated. I think none. they don't negotiate. Because if you are talking to, and I'll just add in here that I've been working with clients who reached out to me, the inbound clients, because of course, I'm a mom first and I have to manage my time appropriately. So I haven't started the outreaching process. Right. So right now I have seven clients and I've generated almost 500 leads for myself and my business in the last 2 years, me and my business partner altogether. So when they're reaching out to you, they are familiar with you, your work and your expertise, right? Even after that, Indian clients kind of tend to, talk a lot, and they want quick changes as well. I shouldn't be saying this, but yeah, they'll text you at 11 p.m. at the night that I don't want this post to go out. But compared to these global clients, they have a proper, everything they need in a format, well formatted, and then they're not micromanaging you. That's the best thing I have seen till date. Yeah.
So Indians are more demanding and micromanaging is on a generic level, which I could take it. Thanks.
Yes.
So what
To
exactly
some
when you say
extent.
an ROI? Yeah, some extent. Everybody is not the same, but yes, I can agree. Knowing in my profession and the Indian clients versus the global clients, I agree they're completely focused on results. So you do
Yes.
your work, maybe that's what you get. So I think that should be the real way. But then what is the ROI that we talk about? So the return on funds invested, the return on money invested, ROFI, ROMI, whatever. I think, and again, you use those words, BOFU, MOFU, TOFU. Again, I don't know who invented this, but fine. So what I would say our brigadier calls something like ROTI, return on time investment, when he talks of time management. So let me make it a ROFI, return on funds invested, return on money invested. So what is the real ROFI, ROMI for anyone? What should he be looking at?
It is again very subjective, because when somebody reaches out to you, you have to ask him why is he willing to build a personal brand? What ROI is he looking for? Just the brand awareness, lead generation, brand visibility, thought leadership, speaking gigs? What? The ROI depends on the kind of results they are looking for, right? So if I'm associated with the founder of a company and they're looking for lead generation, and we are able to give them the right leads, we are able to book them the right calls, the ROI is there for them. If somebody is looking for paid speaking gigs and we are getting them opportunities and we are making people reach out to them for speaking opportunities, that's the ROI for them. So it is again very subjective to every individual.
So let's say we belong to a community of professional speakers who are always on the lookout for paid professional gigs. So would a brand be built which could position him as a global speaking maestro or a speaking maestro, and would he be able to get speaking gigs by the way he puts out his videos or his content
I
with your
guarantee
help?
he can. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you,
Absolutely.
you have me signed up post this. Fine. Thanks. So
But I'll add one more thing here to your last question, that the difference between Indian clients, they also want results in an overnight results, right?
oh,
Now, if you're talking about personal branding, you're not going to get the ROI within the next 30, 40 days. You will see the change for sure. But exact results, what you're looking for, it takes time, because you're building a brand, right? And brand is the perception how your audience sees you. And it is a time taking process, and it's continuously going on. If you're posting on LinkedIn, if you're talking to people on LinkedIn, you are commenting on others' posts, everything is shaping your brand in the digital space. It's just
so
that, yes.
so what's the time of patience you should give it? Maybe 6 months, 1 year, or what
I
exactly? Or
would
it is
say
again
at least
subjective.
6 months. At least 6 months. Yes. Again, it
At
is
least 6 months.
subjective. Yes, it is subjective. If you're continuously, like we've been doing it for almost 2 years now. Yasmin Alec, the #1 creator of LinkedIn in the world, he still posts. He still engages with his community. It's a never-ending process. People think that 6 months of content creation is going to build a brand. No, it's just social media presence.
So again, another direct question before I think Deepak takes this uh, up is what should one look at in a marketeer? So when the plethora of choices that he has, or each one posting on practically doing the same thing, that I would enhance your ROI, whatever the X scale which is given, what should I really look, and what should be the way one client should hire a marketeer?
Okay. So when you're looking for somebody to work for you, work with you in a certain space, and if they're talking about, like I am talking about personal branding, you need to see whether I have a personal brand or not. Whether do I have an impact on my audience or not. You need to check on that way. If somebody is talking about video editing, they are great video editors. Check their work on their profile. Are they sharing videos which they have edited? Their your
Yeah.
profile speaks for you. Your profile speaks for you. If you're saying that you are a great writer, your copy, your writing, your posts will say it, right? The kind of engagement. And to be very precise, I'm not talking about engagement like good, great share and all that, because the thing here is everybody knows that engagement gets you visibility. So everybody is engaging, right? But the difference that makes is what kind of comments people are making on your posts. Are they just saying great share, great post, nice perspective, or they're actually reading it and adding some genuine value? So when you're looking out for a marketer, and you need to see what their profile has to show, and then recommendations, of course, right? They have worked with people, so people must have given them recommendations. So that's the second thing that you can check on their profiles. So yeah, pretty much sums up.
So their content, their recommendations, their profile, and basically, I believe for a person like me, it's just trust. I think you just go with your instinct. If you can vibe with that person, I think just go ahead. Simple. So it's fine. Now, when you
That's a
talked
very
about, yeah,
That is
yeah,
something
you
I've
can.
personally experienced. I work with people who are above 50, around 55 of age. So, and this is also a reason that how I have positioned myself out there, how I want people and audience to perceive me. I want to work with such people, right? I am not looking for somebody who's a new age founder who's just going to come up, I don't want to work with that for many reasons, right? A lot of factors again comes into play. Maybe because I have other factors why I'm working. I'm also here to continuously learn. I'm also here to make money. I'm also here to position myself as an expert. So when I'm working with an CEO or COO from a huge company, and I'm showcasing my recommendation that I've worked with this person, it's also positioning me as a premium service provider.
Fine. So, what exactly, when you say branding being all about thought leadership, what exactly is thought and leadership?
Okay. So suppose if you're a speaker, right? So your content will talk around that. You will have content pillars which will tell people how to be a good speaker on stage, off stage. What are the body language? What are the right words? How to present yourself? Everything around that. And of course, the expertise. Like if you're a speaker, of course, there has to be a topic which you speak about. How knowledgeable are you in that topic? You have to talk about one topic in 1,000 different ways to show your expertise.
So, is it being consistent which matters, or is it being different, or both?
Both. It's the
And
right
and
balance.
in this era where maybe everyone speaks more or less the same language, I think how difficult is it to be different, and how difficult is to be in a super niche?
I think at that point, your personality comes into play. How well you are with your audience. Are you making them laugh? Are they really enjoying the conversation you're having? Right? That comes again to the human touch of our the very foundation of all our lives. So that's where you can have a AI generated script and go on the stage and give a great speech, right? You might give some expert knowledge out there, but if you're not being friendly to your audience, if you're not being yourself, it's visible. Because as I mentioned, people are smart. I don't think like people don't understand. We understand. So your personality makes you stand out.
Fine, I think great. One more question is, let's say if you're hiring the services of a service provider, let's say a professional like you, again, would that be known that this is not maybe Abhijit Sansgiri speaking, but this is Riya Tiwari speaking? So how does that impact?
No, could you please rephrase the question? I
So,
couldn't
so,
understand.
so one is, let's say if I'm taking the services of Riya Tiwari for building up my personal brand, and let's say there's a lot of content which is coming from her, or maybe which is directed by her or guided by her. How does it impact the perception of someone, or it doesn't make any difference? So
If
when
you're
AI, when something like an AI is being used, people think, oh, this is not him, this is AI talking. So they tend to basically discount your quality, though it may be your quality. The
yes,
same way is when, let's say, somebody takes services of a professional like you. Again, the perception is this is not Abhijit Sansgiri. This is Riya Tiwari's intelligence behind him. So how does it impact that person?
okay. So if this message is going out that somebody else is managing your profile, and it's
Yeah.
very evident that who is doing it, then
Yeah.
that person is not a good personal branding strategist.
Oh.
Because if you're building someone else's brand, you need to understand that person. You cannot put your personality into his profile. That's a disaster.
So that distinction has to be maintained, and I believe
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you have those skills where you could keep that distinction, though it's basically you speaking. Maybe when if you're ghostwriting or
For the
anything.
very same reason we have NDAs in place. People don't want people to know that somebody else is managing their profiles. There have been clients who are okay with that, okay, we have a team managing it. There have been clients who don't want this out, right? That, okay, she's writing for me. They won't let it out because it's their personal brand. It's killing the very purpose of personal branding. So it shouldn't be, your audience shouldn't understand that this is not the person writing, or he has hired, or something different. So you have to come up with ways to make
So the
your clients happy.
personal brand has to be really personal in terms of
Yes.
his.
Yes.
And I think the key what I took from this is basically you got to be in a conversational style of posting, which is
How
more.
you actually talk. Yes. Yes.
So you
How you
speak in the
actually talk
language.
in your personal life. Yes. You have to put that out.
Fine. Thanks. So I think I give it to Deepak because there'll be a lot of people here with a lot of questions because I've not
Yeah.
spoken anything specifically on LinkedIn, is which is your forte. Maybe Deepak could take it up. Yeah. Thanks.
Wonderful.
Fine. Thank you. I think
Really
very engaging. A lot of takeaways for me. A lot of validations also. Yeah. Thanks.
superb questions and equally good answers coming from Riya. My
Thank you.
first instinct was to ask you, how old are you? So they say don't ask ladies and women and girls their age, but the fact that you are a mom, I'm assuming you are minimum 25 plus. So let's take that as as a standard. And at this age, I'm really impressed. So uh, a lot of young girls, young boys, when I say young, in their 20s, are trying to position themselves exactly like you are on LinkedIn. Every day you will get 2 invites, 3 connection requests from digital marketers, strategists. I will boost your profile. I will give you this number of likes. I will manage your account and all that. Tell us how, let's say you were a client. What would you do? And, how would you reach out and try and find like this person is the right person for me?
Okay. So I will give an example of how I have decided who is going to work in my team, right? So I have been doing these networking sessions. I've done 7 networking sessions, and almost 35 creators who are doing great on LinkedIn joined my session, and we had a great hangout together online. So at those points, there were some people who were there in my mind, right? And I was constantly following their journey on LinkedIn. So when it was the time of hiring, I initially reached out to those people who have kind of built a trust that I can trust this person, simultaneously who's good enough for the kind of work that I require, the kind of results I want, the kind of content I want. So I've been following that person. Right now, she's working with me. So when somebody is looking out for a service provider, again, can you trust that person? And again, how Sir mentioned, it is about somewhere the gut feeling, right? You are attracting your tribe. When you're building your personal brand, you're sharing your values, the things you believe in, and the people who does exactly the same will come to your profile. If they come across your profile, they're definitely going to engage, because
Yeah.
you people have something in common, right? So this is the thing that I personally keep in mind, that if I'm working with someone, their values, their principles, the kind of expertise that I'm looking for should be there in that person, right? So I think it goes same for the clients. If they're looking for a service provider in XYZ topic or niche, they need to see how can they trust that person, right? And you understand how, again, whether they're just writing the AI content, whether they're actually sharing their personal journey, how they are with their audience, and everything. Your body language says
Yeah.
a lot. How you talk to elders, how you talk to your competitors, how you are behaving, everything is shaping your personal brand out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Like, great
And yes,
answer.
I'm
And you,
32.
yeah.
Answer to your first question.
Yeah, the art and the knack of actually finding out the real age from a person by twisting the question differently, or so that's okay. That's fine. Thank you for sharing that. But what I will do is, we still have 20 minutes to go, and I will allow the audience to ask questions to you directly, because I can keep on asking questions and you can keep on giving me answers. So I will bring a few of you face to face directly with Riya, but one or two questions. You mentioned about Jasmine Alec. He's got millions of followers, and almost everyone across the world knows his name and knows what he does. And if you actually read his posts, if you've read 100 of his posts, 90 of them are almost the same. Almost. He says, do this, don't do this, start here, have a headline, do formatting, help this, comment on other people's posts, give small, accounts some live comment on their post. He basically says the same thing in different tones, in different ways. And as soon as he posts, in less than a minute, he's probably got 200 likes and, 150, 200 comments and 20 reposts also. How does this happen? How does a person reach there when he says, in 2020 COVID, I had actually given up and I had stopped posting on LinkedIn and then I restarted? How does one reach that pinnacle of glory in such a short time?
Consistency with the right knowledge, of course. So when he's sharing about one topic in 100 different ways, he's actually building his authority over that topic, right? So his tagline says LinkedIn coach to LinkedIn coaches, something of that
Yeah.
line. So
Yeah.
people who are hiring us, people like us service providers, are also learning from him. But
Yeah.
the thing again comes back, he's very expensive, right? So not everybody. So we do have a small pie of the to kind of work out with, because not everybody can afford Yasmin Alec. So, and that's
Yes.
how it works. That's how it works. The right people, when reach out to you, everything should match, right? Your budget should
Yeah.
match, the client's budget should match with you. So, and he also talks about kindness. So he knows
Yeah.
what his audience wants. So I think it
Yeah.
takes consistency, and his story, like single dad, that was also something which was relatable to a lot of people. And we were like, how is he managing it all? And intrigued curiosity in his audience. And
Yeah.
now, because the fact that you mentioned that he gets 200 comments just after he posts, there's also a strategic reason behind it. People know that if they post on his post, they'll get visibility. And if they post initially, this is one of the LinkedIn strategies. So that is
Yeah.
the reason. Yes. So everything is strategy here, I would say. People, I see almost everyone just sticking to the basic rules and following it. And when you don't
Yeah.
follow it, of course, the result might take time, but that's what makes you stand out. And that's exactly what I'm doing in this February. I've been consistently working since the last 2 years. And this February, I took a break. So I mentioned it out there for my audience that I won't be posting at the same time. I've been posting at 11 a.m. Throughout. But then I had to experiment, so I switched to 4:30 p.m. But now in February, especially because I was on a break as in from LinkedIn posting and engagement on all of that, because clients' work cannot take a break. So for that, I've taken the break. I don't post. I am posting on random times. I'm just experimenting with the platform, because I have good number of clients. I'm having the ROI on my investing the time, so I'm getting paid well. I have a team. So this is kind of success for me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to be at Yasmin Alec's place. That's not what I am looking for. That's not what I want. Of course, if I achieve it, that's a bonus, I would say. But what I wanted, how I started, my sole purpose was to do something productive, monetize it while being a present parent. And my checklist has been ticked. So I am pretty well happy where I am and what I'm doing right now.
I'll bring in the audience in just a moment. I'll just ask you two questions. One is, a lot of people are really, really good, which means they are experts in their domain. I mean, you just speak to them and, they will keep on babbling, and expertise, just that thought leadership simply starts flowing from them. But for some reason, even if they are on social media, or especially on LinkedIn, either they do not have a lot of followers or they are not so famous. Conversely, there are few people who know almost nothing, but they have, cracked the algorithm or used the platform, or, use social media in such a way that they've branded themselves that I am so and so, which they clearly are not. But, the social
Absolutely.
media team or the posting, all that helps them. How and where do you come into this place?
As in, do I need to position myself in both the categories or something?
So both. Let's say there is a creator, there is somebody who is an expert. You see he or she is unable to position themselves properly. Would you actually reach out to that person saying, I'm offering these services and I can do this for you? Or do you call out bullshit on the platform sometimes, for want of a better word?
No. So what happens when I'm even talking negative of somebody, it's shaping my personal brand. This girl also brings people down. And that's not what I
Yeah,
am in real life. So I'm never
yeah,
going to talk negative about a person. But of course, there's a limit to everything. If something comes up
yeah.
which might impact other people in a larger scale and I should talk
Yeah.
about it, I'm definitely going to do it. So that again, you have to come up with the right approach towards different situations. And I do agree that there are many people who have just branded themselves properly because they know they've learned the art of using and leveraging social media platforms. And there are
Yes.
many talented people who might be introvert, or they might not be interested in this, because entrepreneurship is not for everyone, like every other creator is
Yes.
talking about, right?
Yes.
Everyone, when
Yeah.
you scroll on Instagram, they're talking about leave your 9 to 5. No, not everyone can do that. Everyone has
Clearly.
different life and different stories, and they are
Yeah.
juggling into different life phases. So every
Yeah.
advice there on social media is not for everyone, but
Yeah.
you need to be
Yeah.
more practical and I would say aware of your situation and take measurable steps towards that.
Wonderful, wonderful, great. So let me bring in the audience over here. Indiran had raised his hand some 20 minutes back. Indiran, unmute yourself. Try and not ask a question which is, like personal, where you say, I posted this thing and I got only 2 likes. Help me. No, not that. Let's learn from what Riya wants to tell us. Go ahead, Indiran.
Yeah. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Why I raised my question is I want to thank Abhijit, who's the reason for being um, being the reason for LinkedIn post about myself. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Last 2 weeks, I have been started posting my LinkedIn post, which was my
Wonderful.
um, one of my goal now. So which was very resonate with the current topic. So we were talking about AI. How we are using the content creation, right? So
Yes.
initially it was a very showstopper for my content. Okay, I used to have thoughts, but I cannot replicate in the system, and I cannot post it. And
Yeah.
I have 18 years of experience. I just started posting 2 weeks back. Okay, my first post about my mother. Mother is my first mentor. So that is my topic I posted. So
Yeah.
I used ChatGPT to create that content. Okay, and somebody really called and appreciated me. You are writing so well, but when you are doing some presentation, why are you fumbling? Why are you stucking up? I told
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT to create a content, but the content what I did not just like that copied and paste it in the LinkedIn. I used
Yes.
whatever I feel about my mother,
Yes.
whether it is there or
Yes.
not. I just filtered and posted it. So this is
Yeah.
something chat AI is really important, but not
Yeah.
100%. That emotion cannot be replaced by AI. So that is
Yes.
something I wanted to mention it here.
Wonderful,
And
wonderful. Indiran, yeah, I always say this, AI will replace those who don't use AI.
Yeah, I
Riya,
have a
your
question.
thoughts? Okay, please ask that question and then we'll ask Riya. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question to Riya. See, my ambition is to become a CXO in next 5 years. Okay, that is my next goal. I am working towards that. Okay, so for us to become a CXO, does the personal branding required, or see, there are three things. One is technical skill, the personal branding, and the leadership quality. Which one do you think which is required for to become a CXO?
All of it.
Indiran, the short answer to the question is yes, but Riya will tell us more. Yeah.
No, all of it. Because you mentioned, sir, that you recently started posting on content on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
unknowingly, you have started building your brand.
Okay.
How you're talking, what you're sharing is building your personal brand. How you're going to engage with others is shaping your personal brand. So be intentional about it. Shape it how you want your audience to see you, right?
Okay.
It's all about authenticity, but presented in the right way. How
Okay.
you want your audience to see you.
Okay.
Leadership qualities, what you want to be known for in the coming future. Talk
Okay.
about those topics. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Indiran, you know whom to connect with if you want to fast track that progress, Yeah, you know whom to connect with.
Yes. Yes.
Balkrishna, go ahead. Balkrishna, go ahead. Please unmute yourself, Balkrishna.
Hi everyone, this is Balkrishna Shirgaonkar. I'm an ITSM manager. I've been updating a LinkedIn post since 7 years. As Riya said, my tagline is service management for digital, has VeriSM, has SIAM, has IT service management. So I'm targeting the audiences of service management. Okay, and I'm updating post on LinkedIn. My question here is to Riya is till now I've been updating. I've not been on a video on a LinkedIn till now, but I'm planning to come on a video so that I can explain some features, what I'm presenting about. So is it advisable to come on videos? And I know that consistency is very important. Okay, so normally I do update articles on LinkedIn on a weekly basis. That's either a Sunday or a Saturday. So what are the timelines to update it? Like, is Sunday a good day, or should be it's a Monday morning? Okay, that algorithm, I just want to check on that part. I do have my followers on ITSM specifically, okay, and I target ITSM. When I go to other LinkedIn posts like Go Green or Earth initiatives and all those, some of the initiatives I do add in my profile so that I have a basket of the entire ecosystem of LinkedIn in my profile. Yeah. So a question straight is having a video and presenting it. Okay, would that bring a extra flavor in my post? That's one question.
Yes.
Second question is I am posting on ITSM, specifically writing some articles on availability management, capacity management, because ITSM has a huge plethora. Okay, and that plethora I want to cover because I've worked on all the roles like incident, problem, change, release, capacity, availability, CSI, all those roles. And I've just drafted one document just now for a CSI. Basically, how does BLDC fans helps to reduce the electricity for each person, okay, in a house? And I have a use case for this, which I'll be posting in this week. Yeah. So these are the questions. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
So detailed question, really detailed question. Thank you for asking that, Balakrishna. Over to you, Riya.
If you just want to be heard, keep writing. If you want to, your audience, if you want to be seen, right? Start posting videos. Videos are getting traction, but do it in the right way, right? If you're posting video and talking about a particular topic, I'm not going to talk about the in detail topics because that's not my expertise. I need to process and kind of learn on what sir does do. But having said that, you can create content, and of course videos, it's great for your audience to see you, right? If you're building, again, if you're posting content, you have a brand, right? So when you're sharing your video out there, people get to see you, they get to see your body language, they get to see you how you speak. So they are anyway investing in your life, so that is going to build a deeper connection with your audience. Now they can also see the person they've been reading content about, the person, they've been, you've been sharing expertise and knowledgeable content. So they were reading it till date. Now they're listening to you. So you're absolutely making it better for your audience to know you more. So definitely go for videos. It's something, if one is not comfortable, it's not required, right? But if you're okay to cross your comfort zone, and like I wasn't very comfortable with video few months back, but because I'm into digital space, I have to evolve and learn. I cannot say that no, I'm rigid, I cannot do this. I have to do it. That's the demand of my work, right? So if that is something you are looking for, you should definitely go for it. If somebody is not very comfortable, make your content, your expertise, your knowledge, your writing so good that people are, stay to read it. So yes.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for asking that. Thank you, Balkrishna. Over to our patron saint, Brenda. Brenda has a huge following on LinkedIn, and she will position herself such that she wants to learn from all of us. She knows the tips and tricks, but I'm sure her question will be about that only. Go ahead, Brenda.
Deepak, Anupriya also has a question, I guess.
Yes, we'll take all questions. Yes.
No, let Anupriya go first. Why not?
No. Go ahead, Brenda. Go ahead. Anupriya is a storyteller. We'll bring her a little later after this.
So basically, I was saying that, you need to, like ma'am said, you need to know the person very well, so that the fact that you are shadowing social media is not easily detected. I would say you would also need to know something about anything. If you've read today's papers, you've seen that, the UCL chairman, Dean, who's come to Bombay, has spoken about how we are going to do education. You need to know something about everything on which that person is an expert. Let me just give you an example. Yesterday, I attended a session and a video and a PPT which was done by the CEO of a company. Okay. And I knew very well that it was not done by him, because I've seen his videos many times and I guessed who had done it. So when he came to governance issues, he said PEST, P-E-S-T. Now, all of us know that it's not pest, but pestle. So it immediately came out of my mouth, pestle. He said, no, Brenda, it's not pestle, it's pest. Now, this is a clear indication. I have Abhijit here, Neha ma'am is there, Ms. Deepak Chowdhury is there. Everybody knows, it's DI, now more than that. It's not pestle, but pest, right? So that immediately was one clue that this person had not researched very deeply, because pestle is very, very commonly used in management or in corporate governance. So I think the person should not only know the person who is handling the social media, definitely needs to know the client very well and the style of writing of that client, but also go a little deeper into the subject of which that client is the expert. Now, formerly we were having lots of anonymous writing for CEOs, right? I was also writing, but I gave it up because I don't know exactly who that person is. So now it's changed. I realize that. But I think it is important for the social media person to have a wide knowledge, because today it may be a CXO, the next day it may be ITMS. Now, I don't know how many people realized what ITMS, ITMI, it is IT management service. So people will use things like that. And if you don't know what the person has written or done your PPT on, you'll be stuck. Now, when I said pestle, the CEO immediately said, Brenda, it's not pestle, it's pest. I kept shut. You get my point? It's not only important to know the character of the person, the personality of the person, the style of writing, but you need to know that if he is the CEO of the company, then he should know the governance issue. And one of the sort of measures is pestle. So if I just happen to say pest, he can't possibly say no, pestle. He can't say no, you're wrong. It's pest. So that gave away the fact that he was, that somebody else had done the. I think these little things are important.
Yeah. Yes, Riya.
Absolutely. It's totally making sense. But what happens This is what I personally believe, that one cannot know everything, right? Like I have worked with somebody from pharma background. I'm still in contact with, if you know, he's the CEO of Bharat Serum and Vaccines, right? So pharmaceutical comes into play. I have worked with HR, so HR factors comes into play. I have worked with handicraft founder, owner of a handicraft product company who deals with corporates for gifting and all that. So you need to know about that. I have worked with SaaS founders, so you need to know. So one cannot, I think, cannot know everything, and that's where you should use the AI in the right way. Or if you can, if you have a particular topic, because I stick to personal branding storytelling, right? That's my expertise. But when I have to talk about other topics, I might hire somebody who's better than me in that topic, who's already a finance writer, who's already into pharma, because we have people, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is a better approach to give my clients the right kind of results. If I'm not good at it, I cannot portray that no, I know everything, because nobody does, right? So
Nobody
I keep
does.
it that
Clearly.
way. I keep it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to
Clearly.
definitely research about the industry of your client that you're working with, to know the right trends, to know the factual data and everything. But I think that is available on the internet. That's again the factual data.
I think your suggestion is, when you're taking the social media, whatever, suppose it's a PPT, to run it yourself through AI is very good, because AI would have immediately caught this, that especially when you're using acronyms, if people don't know what that acronym is, like at an interview, you've lost the interview. So people immediately start looking on their phones to see what is this pest and all that. And if you don't know the correct version, AI would have spotted this. But I think the CEO didn't run it through, because he's got a very good social media person who handles
The
it.
other thing, Brenda, here is, very rarely will you find a person like Brenda sitting in the audience to note that problem. Most of the other 299 people will just nod and clap, and then, that CEO goes back to doing what he does. Let's bring in Anupriya. Anupriya, our storyteller.
Yes, so I will definitely not tell a story, but Riya, that was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I just saw your profile and I jumped in today. Sundays, I generally don't attend Bloomberg as much as I want to, but you brought me here and I heard the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Very to the point and very sense-making conversation. So congratulations to you on that. One problem or one question that I face every day of my life is, how much can I repeat myself in my content? And how important is it for me to be original? Like Deepak said, this person that you were discussing, who's the #1 LinkedIn creator, and most of them, they keep repeating the same message with a different photograph. And I find it absurd, because if I'm following them, I don't want to read the same thing every day, almost, or rather, at least once every week, while I understand what they're trying to do. And also, then there is a question of originality. How much original content can I dole out? If I have to create original content all the time, and if LinkedIn is my main sales attracting channel, a lead attraction channel, then how much original content can I dole out? How possible is it? Because I am not a content creator. I have been forced into becoming a content creator. I am an expert in something else. So I have these two big doubts and I'm opening the floor. One, we would like to hear from you. And then I would like to hear some other views also. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start with the repetitive content. To some extent, it's important, but how creative you are with that, it's on you, right? Like Yasmin Alex content is, of course, repetitive, but we still read it for multiple reasons. Like we want the visibility that he has. We have our clients lurking on his profile, so we have to anyway engage with him. We have other purposes to engage with his.
Exactly.
As in,
I
right?
do this. Yes, I totally get that.
That's the part of our strategy. We have to do it. Otherwise, repetitive content is to build authority in that particular topic. Now, Yasmin Alik is known around the world as the LinkedIn top coach. That's what he wanted. So by repeating his content, he achieved the kind of goal he was looking for himself, right? But we don't want to be Yasmin Malik. Not everybody sitting here wants to be known for a certain topic. We are humans, we are multifaceted. We can talk about n number of things in the right way, which should come under the umbrella of our personal branding. Like I also talk about LinkedIn coaching. I also teach freelancers. I'm managing LinkedIn profiles. So there are multiple things I talk about. So it depends on how creative you are. And if somebody is not creative enough, this is the time to use AI. This is the right time to use AI. That's what I would suggest. So
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for all those questions
Thank
from all the
you.
people. And if you may have noted, normally questions are one-liners or two-liners, but when you are in a community of professional speakers, questions tend to be paragraph-liners. So, most of our questions are really, really long questions because
They're
all
case
of us
studies.
love
They're
to.
case studies, Deepak.
indeed it was a learning session for me as well, right? Because
Yeah,
when you listen to
you
problems people are dealing with, you come up with content ideas.
Yeah, I can tell you that you created quite a few fans of yours, Riya, over the last 1 hour in which we've been talking about. I just wanted to point out one or two things before I hand it over to, Payal for officially closing this. One is, if you go to my LinkedIn profile and you check the words, there is one word called polymath. It is now being said that we are probably, or we are already in it. It is the age of the polymath, the age of the person who was an expert only in one topic is probably coming to an end. People have different views, but it makes sense for you to be present across multiple domains, not 20 domains, but at least 3 or 4 silos which work around that one main silo or one main pillar. So you need to be talking about all those things. It can't be only that one thing and then, as you said, repetitive, as Anupriya said, I don't want the same subject coming up on my feed, with the same person giving me a different photograph and, just posting the same thing. So the time has come to be speaking about a lot of core and satellite things. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, I am doing that. Like I am a personal branding strategist, right? But I do talk about content creation, I talk about freelancing, I talk about coaching, I also talk about productivity as a mom, right? So there are topics which is associated with my life, how a mom can have a near perfect balance, work life balance, because everybody sitting here know there's nothing such as work life balance when you have a toddler, especially when you have a toddler, right? But you can have your criteria ticked. So definitely just one topic, because then there are competitors in that way, right? And you will not stand out because that one topic is known to multiple people. But how you're making that one topic look out there, that's what going to make you different. So definitely an umbrella topic, yes.
Yeah, one last question from mine, and this comes from what you said. You said, you've taken a break. You are trying to, post at different times to see how the engagement happens and we all understand that the algo is continuously changing. What may have been relevant probably even a few days or weeks ago suddenly has changed because of the change in the algo. I see people posting at 11 p.m. in the night. These are people from India. Now, 11:30 in the night, what is your target audience? What is really the point of that post? Are you looking for somebody in the US to pick up that post?
Yes.
And if you are,
yes.
So again, one part is that, but I know that person's profile. They do not have, US connections, or they are not looking for that. This is just about posting and saying, in this month, I posted 30 times. If you posted at 11:30 in the night, everybody in India was probably sleeping. And the post has lost traction by the time it comes up on your feed. So just from your experience, are there times to post specifically for India?
Yes, morning 9 to almost 11:30, the best time to post in India for Indian target audience.
Yes.
If you're
anything in
posting
the evening.
Yes, anything in the evening, it's still going to reach people, but lesser number of people. If you're targeting the Western countries, where you want to, engage more, and again, it comes back. Like I have clients around the globe, right? But I post in the morning because I have freelancers and people who are engaging with my content. So all of this is strategized. Then I repost in the evening time. to kind of
Yeah.
get the right eyeballs on my profile from the Western countries and the people. Also, I'm
Yeah.
connecting with those people. They are in my first degree connection. So whenever my post is there, they're going to see it. So whom you're connecting makes a huge difference. Who's there in your first degree connection? Because if you're posting content which is irrelevant to your first degree connections, you're not going to engage. If you're writing technical
Yes.
words of your industry, which that
Yeah.
person, which the people in your first degree are not able to comprehend, they're not going to engage because it's just not meant for them. So you need to connect with the right
Yeah.
people to get the right
Yes.
visibility, to get impressions and everything around that.
Yeah.
And yes, it does make difference. Posting at the same time definitely makes the difference, because when I was posting at 11:30, my engagement was great, and right now when I'm posting at random timing, my audience doesn't know when I'm going to post. So the impressions
Yeah.
and the engagement is dropped down significantly, but I'm okay with that as of now, because yes, the ROI which I'm looking for, I have it, I'm achieving it. So it's okay for me. I don't want to get into these number games right now. So
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, really wonderful. We've had a great 1 hour, 7 minutes of this interaction on this Sunday afternoon, with you, Riya. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, everybody, for asking those questions. Clearly, there is a method to the madness. You need to understand, utilize it, capitalize on it. And if you aren't able to do it on your own, you have to reach out to people like Riya, who are professionals, who understand what they are doing, and who can really help you get to where you want to be. All of you must have noticed, there was this word which was repeated continuously during the show. It was all about consistency. And there is this one fellow who always asks me to sing a song, and he's not here today. Amit is not here today for whatever reason, but whenever I have the stage, I get an opportunity to sing a song. So, there is this Gita Gyan from the Gita which says, कर्म किए जा फल की इच्छा मत करे इंसान जैसे कर्म करेगा वैसे फल देगा भगवान. You keep on doing your karma, you keep on posting, people will know you, people will understand you, people will connect with you. The ROI technically is infinite if you are doing it regularly and doing it every day. Over to you, Payal.
Thank you, Deepak. So, what a wonderful session today, Riya. Thank you for removing time and gracing the Bloom platform. And it was indeed a mini masterclass. So, hopefully, with the audiences we have engaged today, we are in future, we are surely going to have a proper offline masterclass with you on Bloom.
absolutely.
Thank you, audiences, for being here. And I have a question, Riya, but I'll take it offline. And see you all for the next 236th Bloom Talk Show. God bless us all. Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. See you next Sunday on the 236 non-stop Sunday Bloom Talk Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.